There's no problem that isn't fun to try to solve. I was just chatting with one of our engineers and one of our designers around something that just seems impossible. And you see everybody's creative juices start firing and people getting really excited, and you don't know if you're going to get there. But that, I don't think we can do it. And then the voices working together, trying to figure out if you can. It's something I love and hope to always do. If I was talking to my younger self, I would tell her to enjoy the ride. I think especially when it comes to careers, we put so much pressure on ourselves to find the thing that we love and that we're great at. And it's really a lot more like dating, where you need to go out and have fun and try things and don't expect you're gonna find Mr. or Mrs. Right. It's Mr. Right now is okay. Learn what you love and have some fun along the way, and don't be afraid to make a change. I think we all do things at work that maybe weren't exactly what we had in mind or feel a little bit out of the realm, and especially in product, you're wearing different hats all the time. But I think when you really believe in what you're doing and what the right thing is to do, there is a point where your belief system and making sure you feel good about what you're doing is more important than the system around you. And sometimes that means you have to make a change. It can be really frightening in product to feel like something's going to fall through the cracks. There's so much that you're trying to process and align and pull together, and it's really exciting, but that fear that you might miss that great idea, you might wake up and wish that you would have done something differently, can be frightening. If you can communicate your vision well, and if you're helping your customers understand, if you're on the same page about the core problem that you're solving together, it's a great foundation to start from when they come with their feedback, to be able to say, I hear you. The reason we haven't done that is that our vision is this, or the way that we approach problems is this. And you help them build that understanding, which can make the conversation much easier. And oftentimes they'll come around on their own in terms of why their request might not make sense. I think as you get older, it's harder to have a hero because you realize everybody's a little bit fallible. But growing up, it was absolutely Michael Jordan, as it probably was for every kid in Chicago. And I think that's one part, just, the pure strength and talent, but the energy that came with that, and not only on the court, but like in everybody's rooms and homes and restaurants and all around town. And it was, I think it's the combination of that strength and authenticity and then grace, and I really admire that in people. I tend to watch Teresa Torres, and I think what she does so well is she has the sort of aspirational 30,000-foot view of what a great product is, but she also has a lot of really practical advice that you can put to work. Yeah, I think, I was in a role where there was a lot of misalignment around the executive team. So as much as we, the product team and the company, was really passionate about the product decision, there were political things we couldn't work around. And that's, while demotivating, I think that's when you turn to the customers and find the other ways to really find satisfaction in your work. I think one of the hardest things in your career is to understand there are things that you can't control. And no matter what your intentions and how hard you try, some things can't change. And trying to figure out how to stay motivated and passionate with that surrounding can be really challenging. I have a motto around our house that is just be a kind human. And I feel like the human part is everybody you approach, that's what you have in common. And if you can start a conversation from your common ground, it's much easier to hear different opinions and ideas. And I take the be kind part more as a suggestion. It's not that you have to be nice to everybody all the time, but start from a place of kindness. And if you can't be kind, that's a really good chance to ask yourself why. And if it's situational, maybe it's time to remove yourself from the situation. If it's personal, maybe it's time to address something else.
That's a lot of really good answers.
That was easy, thank you.
Yeah.